Okay, so let's dive into this. It's an incredible story of how one company basically came to power the new industrial revolution and the massive battle that's now raging for its throne.
42.29%. Just think about that number for a second. In early 2025, that was NVIDIA's share of the entire semiconductor market. I mean, that's not just dominance, that's a kingdom. But when you're the undisputed king, well, you also have a massive target on your back.
So you have to ask yourself, how did a company that was famous for making video games look pretty become one of the most critical companies on the entire planet? Well, it definitely wasn't an accident. It was all about a series of brilliant strategic moves. Okay, so you can see their journey here. Founded back in '93, popularized the GPU, all impressive stuff. But the real light bulb moment, the point where everything changed, was 2012. See, some researchers working on an AI model called AlexNet had this breakthrough idea. They realized that the same chips that were perfect for rendering graphics in video games were also unbelievably good at training AI. That one discovery that lit the fuse for the AI explosion we're all living through today. And that became their entire playbook. It's just genius, right? While the rest of the world was frantically trying to strike it rich mining for AI gold, NVIDIA decided, hey, we're going to sell the shovels. And it just so happened that their super powerful GPUs weren't just any shovels. They were the only ones that could really do the job.
But here's the thing, their dominance isn't just about having the best hardware. It's about how they built this impenetrable fortress around their technology. You know, that classic business moat that is just incredibly difficult for anyone else to cross.
In the absolute heart of that fortress, the secret sauce, comes down to one word, CUDA. CUDA is NVIDIA's own software platform. And for AI developers, it's basically the language they all speak. To even think about using a competitor's chip, a developer would have to rebuild years and years of their work from the ground up. So CUDA isn't just a feature, it's a lock. It makes their hardware incredibly sticky.
And you don't have to take my word for it. Their CEO, Jensen Huang, says it perfectly himself. He gets that AI isn't just some piece of software. If you really want to dominate, you have to control the entire stack, from the piece of silicon all the way up to the complete running system.
So they don't just sell you a chip, they sell you a whole platform, a three-part strategy. It starts with building the most powerful hardware on Earth. Then, they lock you in with their can't-live-without-it CUDA software. And finally, they scale it all up and sell entire ready-to-go data centers they call AI factories. It's the whole shebang. But here's the thing. When you build an empire this valuable, it is only a matter of time before people come to lay siege to it. And for NVIDIA, that attack is now coming from pretty much every direction. All right, this slide really gets to the core of the strategic battle. Think of it this way. NVIDIA is selling you a Formula One car. It's custom built, it's designed for record-breaking speed, it's all proprietary, and it costs a fortune. Now, competitors like Broadcom, they're taking a different angle. They're offering a Porsche you can buy off the lot. Their argument is, look, it's more than fast enough for most races, but it's way cheaper and uses open, off-the-shelf parts. And here you can see the battlefield laid out. I mean, yeah, NVIDIA's lead looks untouchable, but you've got players like Broadcom, Intel, and AMD all chipping away. They're all making the same bet, that customers are getting a little tired of paying those Formula One prices and are starting to look around for a really, really good enough alternative. So the assault on NVIDIA's empire isn't just from one direction, it's coming from four places at once. You've got direct rivals. You've got your own biggest customers, like Google and Amazon, suddenly becoming competitors by building their own chips. You've got governments putting up walls that restrict your markets. And now you even have regulators knocking on the door, asking if your dominance is, actually fair. It's a total perfect storm.
And on that geopolitical front, Jensen Huang is being very blunt. He's basically warning that U.S. policy trying to cut off sales to China is a huge mistake. It's not just about losing access to half the world's developers. The real danger, he argues, is that it could force China to build its own powerful, homegrown alternative that could one day rival the entire U.S. tech ecosystem.
So all of this really leads us to the biggest question of all. What is the future of AI computing actually going to look like? Is one king going to continue to rule this whole kingdom, or is it all about to fragment? And make no mistake, this is not just a fight between a few tech companies. This is a battle to decide who gets to build the fundamental engine of our entire technological future. I mean, who is going to power this next industrial revolution?
NVIDIA is betting it all on one vision, a future of these massive, centralized AI factories. We're talking totally integrated systems where they control every single piece, from the silicon to the software to the networking, delivering mind-blowing performance all in one neat proprietary package.
But there is a really powerful countervision out there. You could almost call it a rebellion of custom-built chips. The tech giants, the Googles and Amazons of the world, they are tired of paying NVIDIA's prices. So what are they doing? They're designing their own specialized silicon, perfectly optimized for their exact needs. And the result could be a much more diverse, a much more open ecosystem that is no longer reliant on a single king.
And that leaves us with the ultimate cliffhanger for this entire industry. Is the future going to be dominated by one company's closed-off, super high-performance ecosystem, or will a more open, more collaborative, and more specialized world of custom-made silicon win the day? The answer to that question is going to define the next decade of technology.